And double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Great Stone. Shalom to all the brothers and out there pushing this truth. Now sincerity and all honesty. Shalom also to the few sisters. You know, basically, we are basically from the James Jamaica camp. You know, what is important to, you know, Portland. You know, one more, you know, Friday night, you know, doing what you have about Shemeshai, you know, bring us to the truth, you know, right? You know, the prophesy, push this truth to the best of our ability, and to the end, hopefully, right? You know, we have a lot of rain, you know, from week and thing, but you know, people say, in season, out of season. Now, we live in a very serious time, we see a lot of things happening, right? Even, you know, Esau, you know, coming out to them in movies, you know, give you know, inside information, you know, what they basically plan, how they basically get ready to do. You know, see all these things happening right now, right? And we have to stay focused now more than ever, right? See it over there? Give me a hand. Romans 13 and 11. Start here for that.
Romans 13 verse 11.
One.
It says, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out of sleep.
And that knowing the time, that now is a high time to wake out of sleep. So now is the time when people are supposed to wake up out of sleep. Wake up out of this confusion. Right? This distraction to be basically distracted for so long. Those times are supposed to wake up out of it. Because we're coming into a time now where you have total chaos upon this world like never before. Right? A lot of people are going to bump the hell up because they don't know what to do. Right? Just like what took place in the movie, the famous movie, you know, on social media, the most popular right now on social media, everybody and lips of majority of people, you know, leave the world behind. Right? So when we actually live in a time where people are supposed to wake up, what we understand and know according to prophecy, that's only the elect going to try to wake up and return to Yahweh Shemeshai on this side. Right? So, brother?
For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
So now is our salvation nearer than we believe. So our deliverance is very close. See if I say actually nearer than what we believe. So it's so close right now. Right, go on.
So the night is far spent, day is at hand. Therefore, let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk in honesty. Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy, but be on the Lord our shy. Make not provision for the flesh, but kill the lust thereof.
Exactly. Right?
This is 2 Corinthians 7 verse 1 to 2. It says, he answered me and said, this present life is not the end, where much glory will abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak.
But this present life is not what much glory abide. Right? Because this society, it brings nothing but stress, you know, and death onto us. Right? Constantly. Years, decades now. This is not life. This is not how we supposed to live. Right? Put it the right way. This is like the chosen people that Heavenly Father, how Jesus and how shall I supposed to live. Right? It's the reason why you know have so much stress and problem in this society. Right? If it's not one thing, it's the other. Because this is not our kingdom. Right? I can't do what in Daniel, because 7:25. So they wrote the saints at the most side. And we wrote basically go back to harass constantly. Right? So Esau either going to wear us out. So this is not our kingdom. So suppose this present life is not very much glory about. Right? What?
But the day of doom shall be the end of this time.
So the day of doom is going to be the end of this time, the end of this world. End of Esau Edom rulership. End of this madness. End of this dark world. Like with darkness, put as light. Right? End of all this madness, mass confusion.
And the beginning of the mortality for to come. When corruption is past, Intemperance is at an end. Infidelity is cut off. Righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up.
The truth is sprung up, right?
Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed.
Guys, nobody will ever save him that is destroyed. Right? Nobody will ever save Esau Edom right now, because, you know, in this society we're living in right now, you know, people, a lot of people, you could say majority, heavy and the whole Stockholm syndrome, right? They don't want to see Esau Edom, you know, basically, pay or get punished. They all the wrongs that us, majority of people. They're always trying to find some, you know, some try to find some loophole, you know, to make Esau Edom get a scotch free. Right?
Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, now to oppress him that hath gotten the victory.
So nobody now going to oppress us after this. That's the last time they're going to ever go on of these Eden nation, or mainly the Esau Edom. So the last time Esau Edom going to be a power of us. After this they're going to rule forever and ever. We're not going to ever fear.
So we're going to take them captive there. Right. We're going to rule over your process. Right. Yeah? That's how everything will come.
Exactly.
Alright.
Says Jeremiah 51 verse 11. They may bread the arrows, gather the shield, Lord had raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes, for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it's the vengeance of the Lord, vengeance of his temple.
The mother enemies are the Russians, right? Right now, Putin is the leader and president of Russia right now. Because the Lord will raise up the spirit of the kings and the Medes. Because it's device, our device, and our plan, our purpose is to destroy Babylon, which is America. And that's basically what getting ready to take place right now.
Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, fear the ambush, for the Lord had both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon.
Last thing I do, because I wrote the last speech now, return unto the fight, accomplish.
Isaiah 14 and verse 5 said, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers. See? He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
He who smote the people in wrath, who smote the people in wrath. Esau Edom, right? Going back to, Genesis, right? I'm going to talk about the scripture, we all school to the scripture, 27 and 40. And then the blessing that Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man to get from our forefather Isaac. Go on.
Genesis 27, verse 40. And by the sword shall thou live.
And by thy sword shall thou live. Talking about Esau Edom, which is so-called white people. Right, go on. By thy sword they're going to live. So they live by their weapon. Right? That's how Esau Edom live. Right? By slaughtering and destroying. Right? They are death. They basically represent death and destruction. The harbinger of death. That's Esau Edom. Because you have to go back to blessing that he received from our forefather, Isaac. Right?
Just like me watch what they say an article where they want to talk about Gaza. There's a Gaza right now, it's inhabitable. Like it's not fit for human to live in a Gaza anymore. And to how them do it, the bombs and all of that. Yeah? And then sometimes they go back to and smoke the people in a rat with rat. Yeah? Destroy people's lives, man. Say he who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruled the nation in anger, he is persecuted and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They that break forth in
the earth will be at rest. So when this man get removed from out of power, right, the so-called white people, when they get removed from out of rulership, the whole earth will be at rest because there is a problem on the earth. Right, so once you remove the problem, everything will flow naturally. Right? So because the whole earth will be at rest. The break forth into singing. Right? Going back to Proverbs 29 and 2. So when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Everything moon for the earth.
Everything mourn, even trees, animals, everything mourn right now.
Because just the other day when Eastside come out, they want to say, boy, I'm a cow farting. Now you see a heart come out, and basically them say too much human. See? I let off when them say it in the ear, basically them the breeder with the ear we are breed. See? I cause destruction to the ear, I cause seed change. Yes. So everything this man blame, man. One time he said trees. I cause seed change, man. Everything this man blame from himself, man. Yeah? He says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They that break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon said, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us.
Since thou art laid down, since he saw that remove from out of power, no fella is come up against us. No lot of trees these men been cutting out of the Amazon, right? So when they get removed out of power, the trees are going to rejoice, right? And tree basically also represent men. Right, so the whole world are going to rejoice.
It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. In it art raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nation. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Because now these nations see America weakness. Right? You know, America, them basically have a fear for America for years, decades. But now these countries across the world now they start to see that America is weak. They don't have the strength or the power than the ones have. That's the reason why it's a certain country now I get on board to become part of the BRICS. But they basically think about, are afraid to do back then. Right, to go against America, like Saudi Arabia. Right, them see America weakness. So they see Russia and China's strength. Right, one?
Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worms is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So, oh, art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning.
It's talking about, Esau, because you have a lot of people try to use this scripture, to say that the scripture speak about the spiritual, spiritual demon or spiritual Satan. The doctrine that plantation Christianity teach, which is basically total madness. Right, this actually speaking about Esau, right, start with them head. Right, the Rothschild, Rockefellers are known. Right? The morning star, day star. Right? They're talking about them getting removed from outer power. Right?
There's how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which did us weaken the nations.
Did us weaken the nations. Because as I mentioned, America been been destroying countries for years. Dropping bombs, and countries, invading countries and all these things. So now we're coming to the end. Right? All, America, death and destruction that basically they've been bringing. Esau them overall. Because everyone them get taken down. Right? Even Russia, although Russia could be a very important role, in this coming destruction, they're also going to slavery. The whole lot of slavery how shall come. Right? What?
Yeah. Says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
And that's North America.
Yeah.
So they're gonna sit up on the congregation. Right? North America.
God.
One?
I will
Stars.
ascend above the heights.
Stars talking about the Israelites.
God.
You know, the 12 stars. Right? I mentioned in Revelation 12. Right? 12 tribe of Israel.
God.
One?
Says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
Yeah.
I will be like the Most High.
That's what Esau you don't have in mind. Want to be like the Most High. All knowing. In everything. Right? And them think them can accomplish that through them technology.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they do all these things.
God.
Right? Trying to basically, you know, usher in a new world to the fullest.
God.
Bring all these smart smart camera, yeah?
God.
Smart TV, smart everything so them can have total control, you know, and monitor every do it. Right?
Yeah.
Night and day. They
God.
can monitor you through them technology. All knowing.
Yeah.
Like the most side.
God.
Can control it. Right?
And one of the way why you want to be like the Most High, because the scripture said, my word shall go forth and it shall not return unto me void. Just like when he come out and him say something like the Clark Robbie said,
Prepare for the frightening scenarios that I mentioned about the cyber attack and all
they
this.
speak about some things.
Yeah, they're prophesying about what
Put
they're
in
doing.
put in the movie, predictive programming,
Yeah.
see, and then they make it happening.
Yeah.
See, and want to be like the Most High.
Prophesy, I don't think to them, I
Yeah,
know they plan.
set things that gonna happen, and then them bring it forth, man.
Yeah, because them plan things.
Can
Right? Go on, brother.
Jeremiah 51 verse 7. So Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that make all the earth drunken. The nation have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Because the nation of drunk enough for a wine.
can.
Right? All these nations across the world they drink of over wine. America, you know, take on them democracy. Right? America, way of life. Right? Them alphabet thing, you know, they've been pushing in all these countries.
Can.
So therefore, the nations are mad. So now these nations are fed up. You know, they're all the madness. Right? But they've been following America. Following America doing for years. Now they're fed up and they're tired. So now they're getting ready now to team up with Russia. Right? To help destroy America. That's what basically taking place right now. Right? What, brother?
The Babylon is suddenly fallen
What?
and strife. All for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Right.
Forsake her,
Right.
and let us go everyone into his own country.
Right.
For her judgment reach unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the sky.
Judgment's all the time. America gonna get judged. Right? Yeah, you know, wickedness. But they're being done. And they're basically been doing it for years, decades. Now we're actually in the time. Right, what, brother?
Says Isaiah 47:1 says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. See? Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
God.
Yeah?
No more because gender and delicate.
God.
No, we live in the time when these nations are going to invade America. You know, Russia will lead out. Right? All these nations come and invade America. Spoil America, according to prophecy. Right? And after they spoil America, they're going to shoot ICBM missiles.
Right.
Right?
Says take the millstone and grind meal,
Run.
and cover thy locks, make bare the legs, and cover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Yeah, because Heavenly Father want to do that. Right? And reveal all America, you know, wickedness,
And
right? All the filth and all the things that America have been doing for years. Yeah, everything coming to the open now because the Heavenly Father want to do that. That's what I said. Right? Nothing in secret in our open. You know, I mean, our basically made known. So the house I, you know, speak about going back 2,000 years ago. What?
Yea, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Man, so Lord, say now meet you as a man. So you know, the house I now come back. You know, if you nail him up on a cross,
Man.
again, you know, on Bourne side. Now, this time, Yahushua is coming back with thousands of angels to remove Esau Edom from out of power altogether. Right? And throw them to slavery.
Yeah. It says, sit down silent. Sit down silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans,
Right.
for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms.
Right.
Yeah? It says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance,
Right.
and given them into thine hand.
So Yahushua want to give us over into the hands
Son.
our enemies, especially Esau Edom, to punish us, right? Transgress the laws and statutes that he gave to us. That's basically what takes place. Right? And now he bring us back now to a true part, or true ways, right? The Hilek mainly on this side. And through Hilek all who are on this side, they're gonna come back in their mind in the kingdom. So now we have Father bring us back now.
And thou, it says, I've polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
No mercy. The scripture said, show us no mercy. Hey, you know, funny thing, according to the parable, the Yahushua, I think that basically speak about in Luke 16 and 19 now, right? You see what? In your lifetime you receive the good things, likewise Lazarus basically represent the Israelite. You see the bad things. I say, Father, I'm about to have bring it up. I just come to mind, look at scripture. Because Esau show us no mercy, but in the kingdom to come, when they're in slavery, and they start to feel the afflictions and all these things, they're going to right? He don't show it, but he want it. That's Esau for you. Go on, brother. Luke 16 and 19. Let's start at 19.
Luke 16 and verse 19 says, there's a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen.
Talking about Esau, starting with them head, right? Banking leaks, Rockefellers are down.
And feared soldiers every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, who laid at his gate and sword.
God, that's basically, Lazarus represent the Israelites, right? So you call Negroes, Latinos, and it's American Indian, what?
Desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
There's like crumbs from what? The rich man table. What?
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sword.
Yeah, the dogs have come and then lick our sword. Right? These nation, this was a Eden nation, them see how don't fall and then come and them set up shops and them try to basically make money off us or benefit off us or become rich off us, just like how Esau, Edom become rich off us. Our people. Them try to do the same thing. Right?
And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. And the rich man died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torment.
Yeah, in hell, it's slavery. So this is what basically actually getting ready to take place. All Edomites, starting with them leaders, starting with the head of all Edomites according to what in the scripture. See, if the Lord will punish the worst of the high ones that are in highs. So all of them make it through this coming nuclear destruction, they're going to start with slavery. Right, go on, brother. You come over for night.
And seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom.
This is the point, go on.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham,
yeah, Father
have
Abraham,
mercy on me.
Have mercy on him. They want mercy. He never show us no mercy. But he saw our mercy.
Show them no mercy. Judgment without mercy.
James 2 and 13.
And he said, Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
Yeah, tormented in this flame in slavery. Go on.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things.
In this lifetime, I was basically receiving all the bad things now. We've been suffering, right? Afflicted night and day in this society. So remember, in this lifetime we're living all a good life. And we are suffering right now. Go on.
And likewise Lazarus evil things.
Done.
But now he is comforted and thou art tormented.
Now we are there with your time. basically torment.
Time now.
Yeah.
What is the your time now?
Have you changed the also? 130. 130. 130. I believe that it's 130.
No changes, no ice. December 25th, Christmas Day. It's Puerto Rico. The party life is
James 2:13, for he shall have judgment without mercy, that had shown no mercy.
Yeah, because he shall show no mercy. Same how we see judgment without mercy. Because he never show no mercy. Right? Because say, whatsoever a man sow, he going to reap. So he shall reap him sow, he never show no mercy. Finish? One brother? Up to that.
It says, back to Isaiah 47:6. Again it says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and give them into thine hand. Thou didst shew them no mercy upon the ancient, as though
Laid on every yoke.
as though very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
Yeah, they say, keep on saying in Revelation, I sit a queen. I'm sure. And I say, no. What happened? You will ask scripture, brother. Right? This person, the inward thought is that their house will continue forever. They're going to have forever rule.
And them, when they talk about generational wealth, and them one day, them one day come to mind.
Especially Rothschild, Rockefellers.
Right. Because them one day wealth been going on for generations. As a matter of fact, right now the money from way back then still are spent. The new money not touching.
They don't touch new money.
You see me? The old money from way back then
still are spent.
Right?
You tell me what? Yeah, you want to give me the revelation. You can't give me songs out. Right?
Revelation 18 and verse 7. Right? Where it said, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire.
Right.
For strong is the Lord God to judge it.
So they will find the one that will judge it. Right? Vengeance is mine. I will,
Psalms 49 and verse 11 says, the inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
Man, so the inward thought, the house will continue forever. Yeah, they're going to forever and ever a rule. That's how the bank league think. That's the reason why they're pushing their agenda. They're pushing the NWO agenda because they think that somehow they can do what they want to do and fight even the Lord, their house shine. Right, they want to create them and win and continue to rule forever and ever. That's their plan. Right?
Back to Isaiah 47, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Yeah, they don't think about latter end. It's a business.
Yes. Think about the consequences that come after them.
Yeah, people say what? Death and this. The plane that come in one day. That take 1 hour to get rid of America. Wipe America out. Completely account to what stick up.
Like it says, therefore hear now this thou that art given to pleasure, that dwellest carelessly, that says in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, that's easy how you do me. Yeah? Things that are my most, they want to feel like the most, I speak to say. Because you know, they live like in technology. They are so lifted up with pride. Right, go on?
Beside me, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee, in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, see, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
Yeah, witchcraft.
Yeah. It says, for thou hast trust in thy wickedness.
Yeah, then trust in them witchcraft. Right? Years, decade now.
God. Put that into the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, man. See? For thou hast trust in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee.
Yeah.
See? And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, on the most side. No. All powerful.
Yeah. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee,
Right?
thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Right. Scripture say now Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Scripture say the Lord assures thou art a man and not a God.
God.
And he's going to learn it the hard way. Right, God?
See? And mischief shall fall upon thee,
God?
thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. It says, stand now in thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labor from thy youth. See? If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail.
God. Right, so all them the witchcraft, you know, them trusting us a lot. They'll get put to the test in the future.
All
Right?
them idols with them trusting.
Yeah, all of them get put to the test. Put to the test if they can deliver them in those days that we're approaching right now.
Remember the ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
When trouble comes down upon the land, all the men them were supposed to work art magic, the scripture say.
Sorcerers.
Are supposed to drive away
Fear.
fear and sickness. They themselves
Or sick of fear.
sick of fear themselves when them swear the Lord bring forth, man. Yeah.
It says, Obadiah 1 verse 3. So the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, though that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock.
Says because of the pride of thy mind have deceived thee. Do just put this one.
God.
Cliffs of the rock. Talking about Esau, Edom, right? Caucasians, cave dweller.
Whose habitation is I, that said in his heart,
That said in
he
his-
shall bring me down.
That said in his
from.
mind, who shall bring me down? Nobody can bring me down. Because right now on earth, nobody want in power. Right? No one can take them now. Because even if I don't want to put them, right, in that basically rulership position right now. I tell Lord, how shy I'm going to take him now? And no one can take them right now.
God.
That's the reason why they feel so powerful. No one can stop them. They're in charge.
I'm all the way up.
Right? The elites, right? They are in charge. What them say they are so they're too rich,
I'm all the way up.
right? These wealthy farms, they are too rich to fail. They are too rich. They go to prison. So they're above, you know, the system that they created.
God.
Too rich to fail and too rich to go to prison. So they do what they feel for do. They have that power, that black power over the earth. They do what they feel for do. Right? The house is getting ready to become removed. You Edomites, you banking family from out of all together. What?
Though exalt thyself as eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the
Or your
stars,
space station. Your satellite and all these things.
God says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle,
What?
and though thou set thy nest among the stars, then shall I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
No, in that time when Lord will bring it up.
Yeah.
Right? That's the time we're living in right now.
This is your pride.
Lord of man is hard.
Pride coming forth.
Isaiah 33 verse 1. So woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and thou dealt not treacherously with thee.
So, you know, Esau been dealing treacherously with all these nations. America, especially America, the American military. Right, they deal with this nation treacherously for years. right across the road.
Music by Crazy Rights, one of the sources and hosted by Biggie Boo, Fuji Clickers and Trina. Magnum deals all night. Buy 4 Magnum and get 2 free. I say, buy 4 Magnum and get 2 free. Get basket for the best meal in the
So when America sees something going on in the world, you know, they're spoiling all these countries, that's when you're going to be spoiled according to what in the scripture, right?
And when thou shall make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
So they're going to return to America, pay back America, right? But even so, they're going to read.
No one ever get dealt with treacherously. That's all of these, all them allies, for them used to trust in and do all kind of different dealings with them. And turn them back on them right now. A lot of these countries are moving away from Russia. Even countries in the European Union are looking to turn from America. Country like you have Turkey, who are part of NATO. Basically, I look to turn to
Russia
side.
See back to prophecy.
Yeah.
Ezekiel.
So a lot of these countries are dealing treacherously. Saudi Arabia was the main country where we deal with them treacherously. Yeah.
My boy, they don't.
No.
DJ Trump and say, when you go back in, you have to move out that
NATO was spend that was start spend them all remove. Yes, so them country are free America right now. In case Trump become president again. That's like a broke loose, man. So them look away out. Right now, a lot of these countries are pre-America side because even the whole Nord Stream 2 and everything about the Ukraine and them they are stressed out and the military spending and spending they help Ukraine and all that.
To fight Russia.
Is it? To fight Russia. See? And these countries are suffer because they need gas and now in a time of winter them people only for snowstorm and all them things that come down in them time. And Russia can't just go so boom and just like have gas supply from them. See? So they must say, yo, America can't help you in a times like this. So listen, hey. But I will move to who can help with? Right? Yeah.
Habakkuk 2 verse 5 say also, because he has transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlarged his desire as hell, and is as dead and cannot be satisfied.
So they keep it at home. The American military all over the world. All of them have 100 military base spread across the world. So they are the police for the hurt. Right?
But gather unto him all nations.
They have all different people from all different walks of life come to America to live. So you know America, you know?
It's a
Land of opportunity.
Golden City as describe them.
And even unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taunting proverbs, or so like to say, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long unto him that ladeth himself with slave.
Go back to them dead. But yeah.
Hey, you see a news there, a news come out, I think yesterday. Hey, party, where them say America, so them have what? Them only have 1 billion left to spend in Ukraine. 1 billion. Basically, they might heap up a whole heap of debt for themselves in that way. I spend the money in Ukraine to go to waste, man. Because each time I send man in Ukraine to go fight against, send money and send out man to go fight against Russia, a whole heap of dead bodies. Left out there, man, and them not again the victory. The more sanctions them put for Russia, and the more pressure them put on themselves then. Because Russia turned to countries down Africa, Asia, and other parts of the world. I make alliance with them, see? And I go business with them. So food still I eat. See? And the West over here, so based upon what? The European Union and America and Canada and these rest of countries. See? The rest of the part of the world is bigger than we know. See? Yeah, it's bigger than them. More people over there, so. See? The supply things too. Yeah?
Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and a weight that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them, because they are spoiled in the nation.
Because thou hast spoiled in the nation.
For thou hast spoiled in the nation, all the remnant of people shall spoil thee.
Right, so we'll spoil America. What the prophecy? They're going to spoil America. They're going to invade America and spoil it. Like what?
Because of man's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, of all that dwell therein.
Okay? This Sirach 10 verse 8 says, because of unrighteous dealing, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right, so because of righteous dealings, right? The East side is a right one. You know, they do good. Right? Scripture tell us that the Lord created the wicked for the day of evil. Right? The kingdom of the what? Translated from them to another. Right. So now we know time now, you know, the transition that take place because you know, Scripture tell us that Esau is the end of this world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So our kingdom is next. You know, we basically coming up while they're going down. And they're going down far. Right? People say I build Satan falling like lightning from out of heaven. Right. Go fast and come down from out of rulership. Right? Right?
It's Revelation 17 and verse 15. Start at 16. And 10 on which thou sawest upon the beast, we shall eat the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked.
So that's why I'm going to lead to. If these European nations, you know, because you know, the beast is basically NATO, right? You know, and they're 10 on up to these European nations, they're going to turn against America long. You know, there is a nation across the world according to prophecy. So if America alive, you know, these countries they basically been working for so long, or working with for so long, if they are going to turn against America, right, in the near future, and help destroy America. So America going to do it alone. They are going to left with these small acts. Them alone are going to basically left right together. Small acts and them, all is going to cut them off. And we've been seeing all the country especially since here, we want to become a part of the whole BRICS thing. So we see of course we're right now to America destruction.
Hey.
Right? One?
I want to come up with them say what? 120 or 50 country. Vote for immediate.
Over 100.
Over 100 country. Vote for immediate ceasefire. In a some of them. In Gaza. Most of them countries are European countries now. See? So even the European countries, as I said, now stand with them small acting. They must vote against it.
So Jamaica alone, I think the thing for the life.
You have a few countries. I think Uruguay never vote for it, and a few other little country Africa. Jamaica never vote in it.
A boat they want to play, a boat two sides.
Yeah. See? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall eat the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked.
And the whore is America.
And right. Shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Yeah. And it says, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
It is America. That's a great city that ruleth over the kings of the earth. America is a place basically ruling this society. Right. Like, people to America as on the hammer of the whole earth.
So, Jeremiah 50 and verse 23 says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
How is America become a desolation among these nations? How it happened? In powerful America, most feared country in the world. How it happened? Heavenly Father want to do it. How? Right, that's the true name in the Hebrew. Right?
It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Says, the Lord hath opened his armory,
I opened his storehouse,
and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
weapons of his indignation, talking about the missiles, the ICBM missiles. He said, the Lord creator, the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. Right, talking about these missiles. Satan 1, Satan 2,
The price.
the avant-garde, all these ICBM missiles.
So Nate Bradley Harrows. Yeah? 1776.
For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh, of hosts of the land, in the land of the Chaldeans, come again from the utmost border, open your storehouses, cast your heaps, and destroy her utterly, let nothing of her be left.
Good.
That one? It says Isaiah 13 and 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the midst against them which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, sin, they shall not delight in it.
Right, so the Mizar, the modern day Mizar, the Russians. So the Lord said, I will stir up them, against America. Right, earlier I read the scripture in Jeremiah 51 and 11, I believe. So the Lord the Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the needs, because his devices against Babylon, destroy. Right, it's talking about America. Right? Daughter of Babylon. Right?
It says their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity, and the fruit of the womb, their eyes shall not spare children.
Right, so the children are spared by these ICBM besides worried about it America. And also the land of Israel. Everything that part of get destroyed.
And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right, so it's like what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah get burned. Right, and America gonna get burned. Just the same.
America is modern day Sodom and Egypt.
Yeah, according to Revelation 11 and 8, spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. So America gonna get burned by ICBM missiles. Warren. To the lake of fire. According to prophecy. Right?
All the things that take place in Sodom that take place in America are more wickedness than we did. I'll take times 10 and times 100.
Confusion. That filthiness.
Rightly, that's how the scripture rightly called it spiritually Sodom and spiritually basically Babylon. That's like Babylon, you know what I mean? Because the word Babylon go back to Babel, right, which basically just means confusion, right? And there's a lot of confusion taking place in America. You know what I mean? Whether you want to talk about the way of life, the American culture, the laws them what them have, you see me, them financial departments, right, them school systems, seeing religion, right, just for a whole, right, and not to mention the fact that America is a big place, it's a big melting pot basically, you know what I mean, where people of all walks of life come together, and the same thing that happened when they not build the Tower of Babel, you know what I mean, different nations that come together, right, and even the Father did not set it that way. The Heavenly Father is all about
Sunday, December 17th, at Shang-Chi
all the arrangements. Nowadays, it's called
hosted by Biggie Doo, Future Figures and Trina. Magnum deals all night. Buy 4 Magnum and get 2 free. I said, buy 4 Magnum and get 2 free. Gift basket for the best female dancer. Admission $500 after 10.
nowadays, and the social media where they call it aesthetics. You know, when they put something together, we have a particular look and function, you see me, and people can interact with it a certain way. You see me? The most I did set in creation and divide everybody to them own. Right? But America is a big melting pot where people of all cultures come together. You know, say different ideologies and cultures can't mix because that's gonna be confusion.
That's what the so-called white man are trying to know, but that's why I'm bring forth my new world order. They want everybody to be as under one thing. So they must rebuild what? The Tower of Babel. And this new, industrial revolution, fourth industrial revolution that they might come in. See? And the Tower of Babel all over again as they are set. Basically. Let's finish up this. It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their folds there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places, and earth time is near to come.
Near to come, very close right now.
And our day shall not be prolonged.
So now prolonged, things are fast because even the Father yesterday this morning they safe because of the prophecy.
All that beauty and vast, all of them architectural advancements and skyscrapers, you see me, monuments, treasuries basically, all of them are going to come down. According to the scripture, not one stone will left on another. You see me? No more Statue of Liberty, no more obelisk, no more with them call the long sitting the Washington Monument, I believe.
And the obelisk.
The obelisk. I see them sitting.
Statue of Liberty. You mentioned the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. You see me? All of them things are going to get. All of them something will represent America.
No more Mount Rushmore.
Right.
With the dead presidents and statues put up. And everything's gonna be
Mount
put up.
Dustmore.
It says no, we finished.
This is Jeremiah 50. 41 is behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roll like a sea. They shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. So the king of Babylon had heard the report of them, and his hands were waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail.
And I'm worried now, because guess what? The alliances we see Russia make, and with all these nations going back to Ezekiel 30 years. The whole countries them are joined together. Russia, Iran, China, all these countries in Africa. America seeing this alliance, and basically them are fret, man. Them are worried. It can worry them in. Because guess what? Soon I'm receiving them now in a bucket. says, so Malachi 1 verse 4, it says, we are of Edom, said we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Going back to, time when Esau Edom in the Caucasus Mountain. Right? Between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Right? They come rise and come back and start take over after the blue plague or the black plague. In 1347, somewhere after this, they start to rise and come back on the sea. Right, from them time, you have a Bargia family. They come in and the Renaissance period. And they've been building from them time, they're coming up straight to now. Right? Remember that?
It says, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Because they shall build, and they did build. But now we actually live in a time when even the Father Yahweh is going to throw it down, going to throw down the society, throw down America altogether. Get rid of the so-called white man kingdom altogether. Right?
I will throw down. I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
They shall call them, Edomites, so-called white people, the border of wickedness.
And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation. And we have to see what that about all the infrastructure there, the building in America and all about the monument. And then in America you have the obelisks, you have one in London and one in
yeah, the three places. One in London, I believe, and one in Vatican. So, and then Washington DC.
Yeah.
The tree and Queen's Square, you possibly do or them rule the society by, London need the finance, Vatican need them the spiritual side, and Washington need the military might. Right? Three places now the obelisks.
Everything when I'm starting from.
Jeremiah 49, verse 31. So arise, get you up to the wealthy nation.
It's America, not wealthy nation.
Right.
Land of opportunity, the golden city. Go on.
Not dwell it without care.
Not dwell without care. Then they dwell without care. They never care in the world.
Right.
Right? Right, and all villages. You like even the movie, going back to that movie again. Leave the world behind when you're on the beach. Yeah, watch it, man. And little girls, they look at that big boat. And that business, they just live, they don't care. Until you reach near to them, and almost reach land, that's when they actually see it, because they don't care. That's the average people in America, they don't really care about nothing. They just go with a boat and do what they want to feel for do. Never care in this life.
So the destruction of drawing knife.
Catch them close. We used to see it.
So as a girl that see it and say,
relax, just sleep.
What is it? No, it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop.
Yeah. You understand, right? I used to hear them. The denial reality. You used to call them, they live in denial. Darkness. Right?
The man has to find excuse, I say, boy.
Yeah, you can't stop. You have to stop.
a harvest around here.
$500 after 10 here. It's not much
How can I excuse the guys in the ship?
Oh, it says, arise, get you up to the wealthy nation, and so that without fear, say Jehovah, which have neither bars nor gates, which dwell alone.
And they're going to do it alone. All these nations are going to turn them back on America.
Right.
Years, decades. The apostles and hell has been speaking about this. That all these countries are going to turn them back on America. And we are living that time and we see it taking place right now. Much country are turning them back right now on America. Because I go back to prophecy.
Especially since they get weak.
Yeah, come.
And their camels shall be a booty, and the multitude of their cattle are spoiled. And I will scatter into all winds them
that are in the uttermost
corners, and I will bring their calamity from all sides thereof.
Yeah. So Lord, I'm going to bring America calamity from all sides thereof, mainly from the north. Right, one?
See the Lord. Exodus 15, verse 9, it says, the verse 10 says, behold, my people, that are flock to slaughter, I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt.
And the modern day of Egypt is America.
Right?
And let flock to the slaughter. Right? They're led to right now. The slaughterhouse. Because he's them preparing right now to make a move on our people. And the majority of people not aware. Just like the movie. Yo, people don't really care. Until something starts to affect them, that's when they really care and want to really seriously want to know what going. Right? When they start to lose it, they're confused. They get nervous. That's when they want to really truly know what to do. When they affect them life. Otherwise they don't care. Until it affects them. That's the average people in this society. Right, go on.
But I will bring them with a mighty hand
Go on.
and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before.
So last time I was smite Egypt with plagues as before.
Right?
Right, that's what happened. That's like basically what took place back then in the ancient Egypt. So last time I was smite Egypt and get the plagues as before.
Right?
Go on.
And I will destroy all the land thereof.
Go on.
So Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be split with the plague,
Go on.
punishment, and the hour shall bring upon it.
Go on. The main plague will basically come upon it is what the ICBM missiles.
Right?
Burn the place to dust. According to Zechariah 14 and 12. That's the main plague. They're going to hit Babylon.
It's 2 Kings 16 and verse 17. Verse 37. It says, behold, the plagues are nigh, and are not slack. Okay? As when a woman with child with 9 months bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb.
Right, so a lot of you do the analogy of what taking place when a woman gives birth. Right, go on.
Great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth,
Music by Crazy Vibes, One Rock Sound System, and Fire Blinger. Hosted by Biggie Boo, Fuji Keepers and Trina. Magnum deals all night. Buy 4 Magnum and get 2 free. I said, buy 4 Magnum and get 2 free. Hit basket for the best female dancer. Admission $500 after 10 p.m. It's Magnum Splash Reloaded. Girls Gone Wild Edition. Sunday, December 17th at Sunshine Beach, Port Antonio, Florida. Intense Family Association Intense Fridays and on Saturdays presents Magnum Flash Reloaded. Girls Gone Wild Edition. Sunday, December 17th at Sunshine Beach, Port Antonio, Portland. Music by Crazy Vibes, One Rock Sound System, and Fire Blinger.